I was just talking to somebody that it's like was a huge fan. She's like, I don't think I missed one episode of the original, and that's who is the scariest to please, because it's like, well are you gonna? And they're gonna
like, oh, the reunions are not
exactly, and they're gonna be so like adamant about like, well, I don't know if that just goes, and that to me is the scary part.
We have clown shoes.
We have huge standards. I mean, they set the standard. They set the standard for 14 years. I mean, if we can get half the success that it did the first time around, I think we're in good shape. But there's a lot of people to please out there, I think. So I
think expectations are high, but given that Larry, Linda, and Patrick are a part of this one, I think that if this was a remake, I think the pressure would be on us. But I don't know. I think we just try to make the show as good as it possibly can be. I play Elena Ramos, and I grew up on Southfork, and I am in a love triangle between Christopher Ewing, your husband, and John Ross Ewing, his cousin. And she's also very ambitious and in her own right, and she wants to make it on her own. And I think she's also a very moral character. I think at her core, she's really good. But I don't know. There's always room for growth. It is Dallas, and there are also twists and turns.
Your mother's running that kitchen.
She is. My mother is running that kitchen, and I have a lot of fun with my scenes with my mom. She's awesome.
I play Rebecca Sutter Ewing, the wife of Christopher Ewing. I'm the new girl on the ranch. So forgot what I said before. And yeah, she's just trying to get into the family and find her way into such a close-knit family that have been established for so long, and then a new character comes in and is trying to just pull her own weight, and she's very much in love with Christopher, and yeah, there's a couple of things here and there that are revealed, but I think that every character has a good little twist and a turn and their own agenda, and I think that's what makes really good writing, and what made this, I think, for me, the pilot of the season so successful in my eyes, and just very, I'm proud of it.
Is that what drew you to the role?
Well, I read the script and I auditioned and I got it, so that drew me to it.
Rebecca was Cliff's mother's name. Is that a clue about anything regarding your character? Or?
I don't think so. As far as I know, Rebecca's parents died when she was 12 years old. She only has a brother that she grew up with. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like literally, I've said this a couple of times, I feel like Patrick and I, as Bobby and Ann Ewing, are like a pair of old slippers. Like there's a familiarity and a comfort of literally an old married couple. And, according to the show, we've only been married 7 years, but it literally feels like we've been married 7 years.
Yeah, you guys are great
So that
together.
feels really, really comfortable, and I think it translates on screen, and hopefully that will win the audience as well.
You've actually been on Dallas before. I actually was on the forum and suggested, threw it out there and said, what if you were Cliff's one-night stand and you got a child together?
It's interesting that you bring that up, because I was lobbying for that. I really wanted My Dark History to be that. And I think they did consider it for a short period of time. Right. And then they did the kind of the backlog history, and it was just too difficult of a web to weave. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, like Starship Troopers, I'm just going to have to be a totally different person. In 1 and 2, I was, a sergeant in one and a commander in another. So that character has nothing to do with Anne Ryland Ewing, except for the fact that I was part of the Dallas history of the previous series, which is, a pleasure and an honor. But it was.
And your ex-husband, of course, was on Dallas before. He went tangled with JR in the sanitarium.
Yeah. My ex-husband.
Sit down in a scene together, give each other a look or something.
Exactly.
Do I know you?
Well, when you have any series that lasts for 14 years, you're going to have to recycle some actors here and there. A lot of people were guests on that show, and so luckily, those of us who have had the privilege of working a long time in this industry are back, and so we're happy to be part of this new generation and resurgence of the Ewing family in 2012.
How would Anne react if Pam turned up someday?
Well, I think there's a lot of people out there who have been married more than once.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people on the planet that realize that there's certain people who are going to identify you as an older couple and are going to have a hard time embracing the new person in your life. But when people care about you, they only want you to be happy. And I think that's ultimately what hopefully will happen with the fan base is Bobby is so beloved. They'll just want him to be happy. And because he is, I think that will answer any question. Mm-hmm. That's my hope, at least.
How do you think the portrayal of women has changed from the original series to now? Obviously, Sue Ellen was falling down drunk in the first series. She probably could have gone great with Gary on Knots Landing.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's independent in her own right. How do you feel?
She wasn't falling down drunk, but she was also having fun. Like, she was having affairs every episode, and I just thought, she was still an interesting character back then.
Yeah.
She's just way more empowered now, 20 years later. But she was dealing with a lot back then.
Yeah, I think the women are very smart in the show. The way that Cynthia and the team have been writing the girls. I mean, they're very, very smart, very educated women. So maybe
a different era.
It's a different era. We live in an era now. It's like you have women making more money than men, and so I think that you have to incorporate that into the 2012 version.
It's just a little more realistic, I think. Back then, I remember like 5 episodes where Pam was arguing with Bobby about whether or not she should go to work, and he didn't want her to work, and you could never do that now.
No,
you're
that's an antiquated
gun.
conversation.
Exactly. And Bobby's coming to you for advice, and you're sort of wearing the pants in the relationship, and that's the way marriages are right now.
Yes.
So I think it's just a reflection of the times.
A woman is wearing the pants.
Oh yeah,
on the
big
show.
time. Big time. And I think that she sets the standard because she is such an independent woman. She's so strong. She's so smart. And I think she definitely holds her own against any man. And I think that that's who we report to. That's our showrunner. That is our main writer. And I'm so pleased.
Yeah,
And
we're
when we
really
visited the
blessed.
set in January, I remember Cynthia was just she was out there. She was like putting up banana bread for people in the office when we were in there. And she really brings it to a very full-life
Yeah, she makes fantastic granola.
Really?
Oh, she's an amazing chef. She is literally the Renaissance woman. She's smart. She's also a great mom. She knows how to run a household. She knows, and she's
Dallas.
also extremely generous. There's a lot of writers who are very, very precious with their words. And whenever we've come to her with changes or, it feels better for my character to say this or that kind of thing, she's totally amenable to it and very collaborative. And she and Michael Robin are like the Bobby and Ann. They're like the best old married couple that you could ever imagine. As 2 producers, we couldn't be happier.
We're in great hands.
Yeah, we really are. Yeah. We have good parents.
We have a good all-around everything. Cast, crew, writer, everything. I think that we're very lucky.
Knock on wood. Right now, all we need is the audience. We have everything else. We just need the audience. They're back.
They reminiscent. Is everyone left hanging at the?
I think every character has
I
something.
think every character has a cliffhanger.
At the end
on
of the season, but also with Cynthia's writing and with our team of writers, there's a cliffhanger within every episode, which is so good.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember after reading every script, there would just be something that was left untied, and so then we'd be dying for the next script, and we'd all be kept guessing, which is such a sign of a great show. Mm-hmm.
That's true. Like I've been blessed to be a part of other shows, but like, oh, I got the next script. I'm like, oh, I'm too tired. I don't want to read it. I'll read it tomorrow. This one was
Couldn't
like,
turn the pages.
it's
fast
1 in the
enough.
morning. I don't care.
Yeah, couldn't turn the pages fast enough. It's kind of like, you know, when you have caramel corn and you keep eating it just because it's so good and salty and sweet at the same time, and you can't stop. And that's how I feel about our scripts.
That's good. But I think what was so much fun about being a part of the show is that there were so many twists and turns, and none of us knew what was coming ever.
Yeah, nothing.
Even watching the 7 episodes, I have no idea what's happening with your storyline, and that's how you get sucked in.
Yeah, because you read it, but then watching it is such a different thing, and you're like, what? And they did such an amazing job. Like, it looks beautiful.
It comes off the page really
beautiful.
well. It comes off the page really well. It
Yeah.
elevates.
It's huge. I mean, I'm a horrible Twitter person.
Tweeter?
Wait,
Tweeter?
how do you call it? Yeah, I don't tweet much, but
I think you're good.
I try. I don't know. I'll try to do the pictures. That's better.
Every Friday.
I forget about those.
I still don't even know what
See,
FF
I
is.
forget Fridays. I
Oh,
should do
Fridays.
FF because
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I just read you.
It's played a big
But it's
part.
huge.
And
Yeah.
I think really it's a great way to generate and keep the interest going, because it's been a long wait for us. I mean, we shot the pilot a year ago.
How does that feel? You shot it a year ago, and here it is a year later, and it's like,
Still a month left.
enough already.
No.
People on the forum are now nitpicking the set.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's kind of like the release of a movie. You shoot it, you know, it takes a long time to package it and launch it, and by that time you're on to something new. But for us, it's like having a baby. It's like we've waited this amount of time and we can't wait for it to be born. For me, it's a very bittersweet time. I'm so excited about my new show and my new family. One's going, one's coming. And it's kind of like, you know, people always say when there's a birth, there's a death, or when there's a death, there's a birth. It's really the cycle of life. And I feel like I'm really at that crossroads right now where I'm letting go of something beloved and I'm embracing something new. And it's a really rich time for me.
Yes, hopefully it'll.
Oh,
it'll start within, like, next
congratulations.
week. Thank you.
You back on the beat?
I hope so. Yeah, we're supposed to start this summer.
Wow.
I will visit.
And you need traveling partners, right, to all those
Totally,
fabulous exotic
totally.
locations. I think you need
We'll
girlfriends.
keep the
Well, you guys have been awesome. You guys are an awesome resource too. We do
Your
so much research on that
website
website.
rules.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
So
it's a
we're excited
great
to be a part of
resource.
it.
Yeah, I learned
Yeah.
a lot from everyone right before even starting the pilot. I read up. I had to. I just was really curious, and you have a countdown on the website, which is amazing. That's the countdown. Yeah,
amazing.
And
We're as excited as you guys are.
Our message is thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
as well.
exactly.
Thank you for helping us do our homework.
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah. DJ Junket. DJ Junket in Dallas. That's a tongue twister.
DJ Junket. That's hard.
DJ
Glad Mary
Junket.
Alice doesn't have to say that.
Actually,
DJ
the
Junket.
original series went off the air 21 years ago today.
Today?
So kids that were born that day are out drinking right now.
Wow.
Wow.
Well,
Today,
it's
huh?
inspired